Fala galera, beleza? Tudo jóia com você? Estamos indo para o último vídeo da nossa série aí de 21 sacadas. Nessa série a gente vai estar falando sobre idiomas. Mas antes de eu começar, eu quero falar para você, caso você não tenha se inscrito ainda no nosso webinário, que vai ter no dia 6/12 às 20 horas, sobre os 7 passos essenciais para você passar em medicina. Tem aqui, tá aparecendo aí provavelmente uma janelinha para você clicar para se inscrever. Caso contrário, tem um link aqui embaixo também na descrição. Muitas pessoas me perguntaram, mas Lucas, eu não quero exatamente fazer medicina, eu quero outro curso, quero fazer outra coisa da vida. Eu diria para você, mesmo assim, esse vídeo, esse webinário que a gente vai realizar ao vivo também dá certo para você. Também com certeza aí vai ter um impacto na tua vida, porque como eu sempre digo, né, quem se prepara no nível de exigência que você precisa para medicina, você está preparado para passar em qualquer curso, qualquer faculdade aí do Brasil, pelo menos, beleza? So, we are gonna be speaking in English from now on, because this is the video for language, and if you're having trouble understanding what I'm speaking to you, you can enable the subtitles down here, but please don't use Portuguese subtitles, use English subtitles instead. All right, so you're gonna start in this video. We're gonna be talking about languages, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna give you some tips and how you can enhance your language abilities and skills for you to thrive in the world. So I spent practically my whole life learning about English since I was like 9 years old. And I started on the basic levels, and I was going up to the advanced ones. But still, when I finished my course, when I was 15 years old, I still didn't feel I was prepared to face the role and to really understand, to be fluent in English or any other language. Since English was the first one that I learned, I thought, oh my God, I was thinking that maybe I would never be able to learn English so proficiently as I saw some people doing it. And I was starting thinking for myself, oh my God, what can I do to actually, be fluent? Don't be ashamed of speaking or even shy. And I started to realize that I needed some other methods, not just the common ones that you learned when you're learning English. Right, when you're trying to read some texts and doing some writing, as the English schools, they usually learn that way. But I was thinking, I need something else, and the thing that I realized was that I need to be more in contact with the language on a daily basis, like every day. And the thing that I started doing, the first thing that I started doing was actually watching some English movies with English subtitles, not using the Portuguese ones. I started to use the English ones. And you are asking myself, you can ask me, was that easy? No, not at all. It was really complicated at the beginning. I remember that I had to stop every once in a while, like every, 30 seconds or every minute. I had to stop and actually to look at the subtitle, the word that I didn't understand, and I had to look on I had a web dictionary, and I had to type there, oh my God, that's the word, okay, I understand. And I had to do that for several months, until I was like, okay, I can watch the movie with the English subtitle. I still, even if I don't understand anything that is written there, I still can grasp the general, the main meaning, right? So I can actually fill up the gaps, as we say in English. Even if you don't understand that particular word, you can fill in the gaps and you still get the general context. So that took me some time to get to that point. And when I did that, oh my God, okay, I can watch now, getting the English movie with the English subtitles and get the 70% of the meaning. It's all right. I can understand most of it, and I can actually talk about that movie, right? So then I went to the next level. The next level, I started doing, okay, I'm not going to use the English subtitles anymore. I'm going to watch without any subtitles. Then I got, oh my God, that is even harder. And you see, I started struggling again to understand the movie without the subtitles. But that was necessary for my improvement in English. that was one thing that really helped me develop my listening skills. You know, before I started that, I actually was talking to people, and I was to talking in my head the sentence first, then I could translate. I was thinking in Portuguese, then I had to translate in English in order to speak to that person. After I did that, I didn't do that anymore. You know, I could actually speak, I could actually think in English instantly, and I could speak much more, with a lot more fluence than before. That was one thing that I did. Another thing that I did to really improve my English skills, I started to read English books in English. That's was reading in English, but not technical books, because technical books, they're a lot more difficult. If you get, I don't know, some English about medicine, for some book about medicine, for example, in English, or some book about business and self-development and so on, it's a lot harder to understand those books if you go straight to them. What I would actually recommend is that you start by reading some novels, you know, get some English, American English, because British in English is another story, is a lot more difficult too. So get the American ones, and then you can actually, some author that I really liked at that time is called John Grisham. I don't know if you pronounce his name that way, but it's John Grisham. He's a very famous one, and he has a book called The Rainmaker. He has another one called The Broker. Yeah, another title that's called The Broker, another book from him, and it's very good because, you know, you can actually read his book and you understand most of the words because they're very common, and you get interested by the book, and instantly, automatically, you are learning English on the behind. So that way I could practice a lot, I could have a lot more vocabulary, and I could have a lot more fluence when I was reading some texts, some books in English directly. You know, I could grasp the meaning a lot more quickly. So that's another recommendation that I would give to you. That's the second one, right? And the third one, which really got me to another level, you know, like the last part of it, was actually immersing myself into English. You can do that on different ways. You can immerse yourself in English by doing an internship. That's the most common way of doing that, right? You go to another country, you start to speak English like 24 hours a day, when you go to a bar, when you go to the supermarket, when you meet some stranger on the street, ask for information. So then you can actually really get your whole brain, your whole being into an English. Then you start dreaming about English or any other language that you're learning, and you get to another level. That's pretty much it. You know, if you do that for 3 months, you get this kind of growth. If you do it for 6 months, you get this, and after 1 year, oh my God, you can really expand all of it. You know, your vocabulary, the self way of expression, your way of talking in English, with communicating with others. So that is one. And you can tell me, okay, you can say to me, okay, Lucas, but I cannot do the internship right now because I'm studying for vestibular. I really need to get to the college, to the faculty first, and then maybe after that I'm going to do something about it, right? Okay, that's all right, because nowadays that's not a problem anymore. You can actually meet anyone on the internet, any person around the world, and you can actually talk to them in a daily basis. You know, have like free websites you can find on Google. You know, just register there. I don't know anyone right now specifically, but you can easily find that. You know, talk to like foreigners all around the world. You can find that on Google, and then you can like switch. You know, like you can practice with him 1 hour per day speaking in English, because he's a English native person. He speaks his mother tongue is English, right? So you're gonna be speaking in English, and I would give preference to American English, because that's the one that you find on TV series, that you find on movies. So it's a lot more to actually get fluent on that, right? But if you prefer British English, it's all right. Okay, it's more like noble. It's more, oh my God, it's more, you know, it's more, how can I say, it's more concise, it's more in a more like right way of speaking, right? It's more sophisticated way. That's the word that I was looking for. Sophisticated way of speaking English, the British one. But you don't need that. You can use that. You can speak an American one, right? So as I was saying, you switch. 1 hour you speak in English, and the other hour you speak in Portuguese, because probably that person wants to learn Portuguese. That way you do, you don't have to pay anything for that, and both of you're gonna learn the language that you're intending to learn. And you can use that not only for English, but you can use that for Japanese, for Spanish, for Italian, any kind of language that you're aspiring, that you're intending to learn. All right, so that's a very, very good tip. As I would say now to finish this video, I would say nowadays, it's not a lot more, it's not very worthy to spend a lot of time doing the normal course, the regular ones. They're good, okay, they're good to improve your grammar, they're good to improve your technical knowledge for English, but still I was doing like 6 years of my life I spent on learning like traditional English in the English school, and still I didn't feel anywhere prepared to speak in English to a stranger. I had even trouble when I remember when I was in Canada for the first time doing my first internship when I was 18 years old, and I was staying in a Portuguese neighborhood. All right, so I had to get my first bus ticket because I wanted I was in Toronto, Canada, so I wanted to visit the city, the entire city right there. But still I remember when I got to like a bakery to buy the bus ticket, I was asking myself, I was thinking on the way when I was like walking to there, I was thinking how I'm gonna ask for the bus ticket, and I was like formulating the sentences in my head. Okay, I'm gonna go there and I'm gonna ask, okay, do you sell the bus ticket? And I remember that I got there, I got so like, oh my God, I got so nervous and preoccupied that the guy wouldn't understand what I would tell him. So I said, do you guys sell, in a very broken English, I don't even remember how I did that, but I remember that I said that 3 times to that guy, and still he couldn't understand what I said. And then I gave up. Okay, I just said, você tem o bilhete do ônibus? And the guy really, okay, the bilhete de ônibus, speaking in a Portuguese accent. Okay, you want one? Then he said, okay, I want that, please, because I cannot try to speak in English again. I tried 3 times, and the guy couldn't understand me. And you see that? Oh my God, that's like and I always remember that story because that synthesized the way, I was trying to learn English, and still I didn't feel anywhere prepared to speak that in real life. So that's why I'm giving you these 3 particular tips for you. Those are shortcuts if you want to learn English faster, in a lot more proficient way, because the most important skills that you have in English today, in my opinion, those are listening and speaking, because that's what you're going to be if you're going to travel, if you're going to do something about it. Reading is important too, but still reading is a lot easier. When you know some particular words, you don't need to understand all of it. And writing, oh my God, writing is like, maybe it's the least important thing nowadays, because you don't use that much, unless you're going to write some English text or something for like a technical vocabulary or something, but it's very rare, you're going to lose a lot more listening and speaking all the time if you're doing English for traveling and to really in a very, let's say, useful and more common way of doing that in your life. Okay, so those are the particular tips for you. Just stop using just rephrasing again to finish this video. Don't use Portuguese subtitles anymore, just put them away. Get the English ones, try your best to find the English ones. Even if you have trouble understanding, don't be like very concerned about the details. Just try to grasp the whole meaning, the general meaning of that movie or that TV series that you are watching. And then after that, you can go to a second level where you don't use the subtitles anymore, right? You can try that after that. And the second thing that I should really suggest to you is that you start to learn books in English, novels, not romance and novels. Don't go for the technical ones because they are a lot harder to understand. Go for very easy authors to learn, like American ones. They usually write in a very more common way, let's say that. Okay, and the last thing, go for internship if you have the opportunity, like immerse yourself in English. You can do that by doing the internship, or start to talk to a stranger, at least like, let's say, daily, on a daily basis, like 1 hour a day or half an hour a day, because that's really to get you in a different level. You're gonna start to listen in a different way, in a lot more proficient way, and you're gonna be speaking a lot more fluently. You know, you don't have to, you're not going to need to think in English anymore, to think in Portuguese and then translate it in English. That kind of fluency gets you for you to think in English right away, right at the moment, and then you can just, you get a lot more quicker when you're speaking, like you get a lot quicker when you're speaking like that, okay? So that's the video that I wanted to talk to you, to the tips that I wanted to give you to learn languages. You can use that for English, it's important to mention, you can use that for English or any other language in the world, okay? You just have to adapt. It's the same system that I used to learn Spanish, to learn French, so it's always the same thing. All right, I hope this video has helped you. You can give your feedback here, please. Well, you can tell me what you thought about this video, some suggestions, something that you tried in your life. Share with your friends, put it on Facebook and share you throughout the web, okay? So if you didn't understand, maybe you didn't understand everything that I said, that's not a problem. If you got the general meaning, the 3 tips that I told you, it's all right. That's the main goal of this video, to give you these 3 tips about how you can really improve your language skills. All right, so I'm gonna stay in here, and I wish you all the best, and we are going to see each other in the next video. See you again. Bye bye.